A lot of the time when we begin to grow, and I mean really put our attention on growth, because that's what we're here for, really. If we're earnest enough in ourselves for this spiritual awakening journey, we're here to grow, we're here to learn, we're here to become the best version of ourselves and hold ourselves responsible for that. And because we're gaining awareness, gaining clarity inside of ourselves, because we're doing more meditation, more yoga, more practices like these breathwork practices, we're getting more clear, we're having more clarity inside of ourselves as to the dark bits, the bits that we don't like to touch, the bits where we were hurt when we were a child, for example, when we were younger, when we weren't quite mature enough to be able to deal with these pains, deal with these wounds. Perhaps it came with a breakup with an ex, perhaps it came with an abusive relationship, perhaps you were constantly told you're not worthy, you're not good enough, and after a while, especially if you're young, you just believe it. And this is the healing journey that humans go through. These are the wounds now that are likely coming up in you right now, because they are in a lot of us. I'm speaking to a lot of people about this right now. And of course we can hold on to them, but we know, and they're so visceral and so real for us right now, even though they happened years ago. And the reason is because it's time to heal them. Life is now saying, here you go, brother. I'm teasing you now with this little bit of pain in front of you. I'll speak about inside our consciousness, for example. Let's say a mental image of an ex pops up, or a mental image of somebody that wronged you or bullied you, comes up in your mind, or the parents, or whatever it is in your head that pops up. It's life then saying, I'm going to give you a little bit of pain now, so that you go inside of yourself and see how any of these things right now are relevant in your life, and let go of them, because the likely only relevance they have is the pain that we bring up with it now. This pain body that we bring up inside of ourselves, not to punish ourselves, but it is kind of like a punishment, isn't it? And why do we keep doing that? Well, because we haven't learned techniques in school of how to let go of these things. We haven't learned techniques of how to heal ourselves. It probably serves the powers that be for us not to learn these things, because then we go out and gamble, and we go out and go and do unhealthy, unconscious things to try and get rid of the pain. And it does for a moment, so long as you don't go too far with it and end up with, £30,000 debt from gambling, and then this horrible feeling inside. No, these ways don't work. There is one way that's not taught about that does work, and it's the only thing that works for me. Coming from a consciousness standpoint, we can say for sure that these mental images are created in the mind, are they not? And this is going to be a bit of an interactive video. I need you to join in, otherwise it won't work. Sometimes we listen to these videos on YouTube and we think, well, that sounds nice, yes, that sounds right for my life, and then never do it. Well, now we're going to do it. If you can, bring your attention into the feeling of your body. Can you feel your toes? Can you feel your ankles? Can you feel your knees, your shins, your thighs, your chest, your arms, your third eye? Because this feeling of the body we call in yoga your being. Remember, we're human beings. We're not human thinkings. There's nothing spiritual about this. This is just what we are. We're a human being. And all of these things that we need to let go, past traumas, past wounds, they come up in the mind. Mental image, let's say, of a past experience, or whatever it is, a mental resentment in the mind. And sometimes that comes with a feeling, doesn't it, as well, an anger or a depression or whatever it is. But remember, we're not a human feeling, we're not a human thinking, although these are aspects to ourselves. We're a human being. The answer's in this. To really let go of past experiences or things that harm you, to really empower yourself in this moment and surrender to the control that you truly have, and let go of these things that are bothering you, is to drop your mind, to drop your thoughts, to drop these mental images into your being. Alright, so something comes up in your mind, some horrible experience that you remember about the past, or whatever it is for you, because we all have these things, that seems to take you away from your from your seat of power inside of yourself and make you make the rest of the day really crappy for you, or makes you you're really conscious up until 11 o'clock in the afternoon, and then this thing happens and drags you away, and then you're in this constant vicious cycle of thinking and feeling angry, or thinking and then feeling depressed, and then whatever it is. It's these things, when these things pop up, because we're a human being, not a human thinking, we have this thinking aspect that started it, we have this human feeling emotion that's perhaps proliferating the ride, but we have this other human aspect, and it's the being. So we drop our thoughts, we baptize our thoughts, our minds, our feelings into this inner body feeling, the being. And if you've just done that, tell me what else you need right now. This inner body feeling is all encompassing. Do we need to go to the mind and torture ourselves again? Or has our being literally taken all of the load? Have we not washed away? Have we not baptized our minds into our hearts, so to speak? Our being can take anything. This isn't spiritual, we are just this. This is us, we are human beings. It's just we're not taught to wash all of our worries into our being. And sometimes the thought can come up, well, what if I just be? Then when I just become this numbnuts and nothing will happen? Well, no. Because I'm constantly rooted in my being, and look, I'm making a video, things are still popping out, but this way life spontaneously happens through you, rather than us trying to control it in a certain way. This is all about surrendering to the control that we actually have, and that control is dropping our worries, our thoughts, our fears into our being. And that's becoming truly human, but a human being rather than a human thinking, or a human worrying, or a human feeling. Down below there's a free guided meditation. It's more of a breathing practice actually, that will connect you to the feeling of your being. And if you couldn't feel the feeling of your body before, this breathing practice will do that. It will oxygenate you in such a way so that you will feel your inner feeling space, the being that we call of this, the inner feeling of this body. And that will be the cradle almost, the net that will catch all of your worries. But you have to do the work, right? If a worry comes up, what do? We let go. How do we let go? How do we really let go? The only way that ever works. We let go of our thoughts and baptize them into the feeling of our body. And then we feel. In this feeling of our inner body space, what more do we need? There's well-being here. The perfume of our being is well-being. Depression doesn't exist here in this inner body feeling. It can do if we want to create it again, and that's fine, but we can just use that as another opportunity to baptize and let go of this emotion, of this feeling, of this thought into our body space and feel. And we don't have to keep doing it forever and ever and ever. Don't worry, it gets easier. Just notice how if you just do it once, how much life gives back to you in that sense. How much calm, how much peace there is that naturally emanates as your perfume from your being. Being meaning inner body feeling. And then the journey's done, isn't it? What enlightenment do we need now? I'm well, I'm healthy. But of course, there's more we can do. But I hope this helps. Of course, if you're going through an awakening process, you're more than welcome to sign up down below to a free community of awakening souls. It's on Facebook, it's private, it's free, I'll never charge you for it, that's my promise to you. I hope this helps. This is a real technique. The only way of letting go that works. Rather than us saying, I'm letting go, I'm trying to let go, and then getting angry with ourselves in our minds. We need to drop the mental into the feeling of our being, and that is that conscious action. We're talking about our inner consciousness now. That's the action, the conscious action of letting go. That's real. Nothing made up. This is real. We stop becoming this human thinking, human worrying into the human being that we're born to be just by baptizing our minds, our worries into our being. Get courageous with it. Our being will take the load of everything you throw at it. And if you're finding it tricky on your own to go through this process of awakening, you're more than welcome to sign up. There's an application form down below for one-to-one coaching, which is something I'm doing and really, really enjoying, in fact. Meeting some amazing people, you know who you are. That'll do. To truly let go, there's only one way to do it. And that's to drop our minds and our worries and our fears and our thoughts into the feeling of our body. And feel how good it feels. Thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely evening.